So currently we're at the American War Museum, but they call it the War Remnant Museum. And this is an old, maybe, is this a Huey, I believe? Yep, this is a 1H Huey. Probably a replica or an actual plane that flew actually in Vietnam. Again, a lot of Americans don't like to admit that we kind of lost this war. We retrograded faster, and we really didn't support the South Vietnam into winning, because that's why Saigon is now called Ho Chi Minh City. Look at this plane here. This is an old plane as well. Back off of this a little bit. This is crazy. And this is not even inside. This is just, again, it looks as though these are actual planes that flew. Just look inside there. Actual jet. Wow, these almost looks like replicas though. I don't know if these are actual real planes. I'm trying to actually see. It's possible that these are real. Wow, look at these tanks here. Very, very impressive. Now this actually looks very, very authentic, except for the people here by it. Actually, serial numbers. See, now of course this is a Chinook 47. I've been in one of these, but not this model. It's a very old. I'm pretty sure this is not a Chinook 47 unless it's been updated. See, M41 tank.
Yeah, that M41.
But there's a. Now this one right here is an actual flamethrower. As you can tell, this was actually flamethrower. Of course, this is your basic howitzer, your 105 millimeter howitzer. This should be the 155. Yep, 155 millimeter howitzer for you field artillery guys. You guys know how to dial these things in. And this big blicky here should be the M107. Very long tube. As you look at this one, look how long this tube is. This right here reminds me of a C-Ram on top of a aircraft carrier or something like that. So I may try to define if these are replicas or if these are actual. These look real. These look really authentic. Like these look really authentic. These don't look like replicas at all. These are probably ones that were left during the war. So again, a lot of people may not agree with this, but we lost the Vietnam War in support of the South because the North won. So if the party that you were supporting lost, then and you were helping them, then you essentially lost because in support of them. Now, of course, we don't take the loss because it wasn't our war. We were just in support of the war. But thousands of American soldiers died during the Vietnam War. So that's why I say we lost, even though they lost, really. was in support of the South.
Oh, South.
So we don't count Vietnam as a lost war because it wasn't our war. We was in support of South Vietnam, but we lost because we lost a lot of soldiers in support. It says that the Tasmanian people protest over the U.S. war crimes in Vietnam. Mali people hold a meeting to show support for Vietnam. Oh, wow. So a lot of major African countries was in support of Vietnam winning. I wonder, was it the South or the North though? Flag of Cuba, Vietnam solidarity commitment given to the Southern Vietnam people. Okay. So because the U.S. was using napalm, the North was not using propaganda, but actually true, because there was some children who actually got burned by napalm. They said, stop the bombing. Children are not for burning. Nixon mass murderer. Die USA in Vietnam. Is that in German?
What?
Right there to the right. You see that? Oh, wow.
He asked that because all he had to see was the die.
Yeah.
D-I-E.
Get out of Vietnam. Now we're here. But they want us here to spend our money. So, and of course, there was a lot of U.S. soldier who was affected by Agent Orange. One of my old neighbors, when I was stationed at Fort Hood, across the street, he was trying to get compensation because he was actually affected by Agent Orange, and they denied him for over 20 years, and he finally received it. In the aggression war in Vietnam, the U.S. Army used not only lethal weapons to cause casualties, but also toxic chemicals to destroy the livelihood of Vietnamese people and prevent the advancement of their revolutionary armed forces. From 1961 to 1971, the U.S. Army conducted 19,905 missions, spraying about 80 million liters of toxic chemicals, 61%, which was Agent Orange, containing 366 kilograms of dioxin, over nearly 26,000 villages with an area of 3.6 million hectares, nearly a quarter of the total area of South Vietnam. 86% of the contaminated area was sprayed more than 2 times, and 11% sprayed more than 10 times. But I do believe that after the Vietnam War, the U.S. vowed never to use chemical warfare in any war or battle ever again. And here are some of the chemical agents that were used. As you can tell, this lower portion here, Agent Pink, Agent Green, Agent Purple, and the previous what you saw was that Agent Purple, the People Eater, Agent Orange and Orange 2, Super Orange, accounting of 61% of the total amount sprayed, Agent White, Agent Blue. It says that dioxin is a common name of a substance with a chemical name, tetracordis or benzo, I don't know how to pronounce that. There are 75 different compounds. So these were very complex chemicals that had a very negative effect on people. And here are some of the graphic images of these people deformities. Agent Orange victim, born 1977. Agent Orange victim. Now, This young child here, and trigger warning. Showing here is some of the actual chemical grenades. Here's a CS grenade, controlled substance, chemical grenades in orange. That's how probably the military deciphered which ones were different. And here, incendiary hand grenade. These are actual pictures. These are not rendered. It says a nameless baby girl born in May of 2000 and abandoned. So that is the end of the War Museum here in Vietnam, Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh City.
A couple of draw changes in the weekend.
We won't go to any more war museums. This was one-sided. They had a lot of propaganda, one-sided, but again, they won the war, so they tell the story, his story.